Hey guys, it is Thursday, March 27, 2025, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. We are close to wrapping up the month of March, which has been themed with free VST compressors. So let's jump right back into it, guys. The free VST plugins for today is as follows. So first up for today, we've got :MB. Today we're going to be dealing with all multi-band compressors, and there are a couple of them that are especially themed, which we'll get into in a minute. So first up, we have :MB from Analog Obsession. The MB is for multi-band. Then we have also from Analog Obsession, we have Dinosaur. Next up, we have from Auto Boogie. It's called Dynastia. Then next up from, what is the name of this developer? Give me a second. That is Kramit. Let me look it up real quick, because I have seemed to put the wrong developer. Let's correct that really quickly. Sixth Sample. I talked about this last month actually, so let me go ahead and let me correct that really quickly. So while I do that, let me just say, so Kramit and Dynastia is actually a clone or a variant, I can say, of a very popular compressor that came from a preset in Ableton Live called OTT. It's actually originally was a preset, and then somebody decided to make it a plugin, and it became very popular. Sixth Sample. All right, let's save that, and we'll hit refresh. There we go. Developer, Sixth Sample. So, and last up we have actual OTT, which we'll look at in the DAW in a minute. So let's jump over to the DAW. So for today, we have an arrangement that I started working on today. And like I've been doing, by tomorrow, it'll be developed a little bit further and you guys will hear the progress. But for today, so far, we just have a piano sound, which is just this. Let's check it out. Sorry, let's start that over. Hit the wrong buttons here. All right, here we go. right, so today we're going to be focusing in on that secondary sound. It is there for texture. So I feel it complements the vibe really well. And let's start messing with these plugins and see if we can extract some more detail. So we're going to start with the more calmer ones first. So let's start with Colin MB. So I'm going to start on the low end. I don't think there's much low end, but we'll see what's going on. So we push the input, get those needles going, get a bit of gain reduction. So if you notice, multi-band compressors are broken up into multiple bands. So we have low, mid, and high frequency ranges. There is a knob here for you to control where the crossover is. So it's assumed that this starts at 20 hertz and goes all the way up to right now, let's say 425 hertz. Then this middle range starts at 425 and is going all the way up to, let's put it close to 6K. And then everything else is 6K up to 20K. That would be this third band over here to the right, which would be the highs. So we got a little gain reduction going on the lows. Let's bring the attack time up. The slowest attack time is 50 milliseconds. I'm gonna slow down that release. So the release goes pretty slow. It goes all the way up to 3 seconds, 3,000 milliseconds. So that's interesting. So we're gonna dial in a decent amount of compression. Okay. And then there is a wet dry knob for each band. There's an in and out for each band, so you can turn a band off. So I can turn these two off. So it just turns off the compression. What I would like to see, and I don't know if it's there and I'm just missing it, if you can solo and or mute bands. I guess the muted band, you can just turn it all the way off volume-wise. Bring the in volume down. Let's see what happens when we do that. See what it sounds like. It doesn't really change the volume. So I guess that's just the volume of the compressed signal. All right, let's mess with this midsection. Slower attack, faster release. So the fastest release is 100 milliseconds. So I'm assuming the N kind of acts like a combination of the ratio and threshold. And then you can control the output level. And let's bring out some more details. Now let's get to the highs. Fast attack, fast release. Let's bypass it. Still pretty subtle. Interesting. And there seems to be no oversampling on this analog obsession plugin. All right, so let's jump into Dinosaur. This is an older one, so the interface doesn't seem to be resizable. And then this one has 4 bands. So let me just try and get through this quickly. Threshold. There we go. So this has threshold and ratio. Definitely feel it when it grabs that low mid. Get it on the control. Raise the volume. Bring the ratio up. Squashed. Okay. Let's go right to the high mid threshold. Ratio. And let's dial in some highs. Ratio, compression on the highs. Fast release. Go from 1 to 20 with the ratio. There's still a master out. There's an in and out switch, basically bypass. And then there are different modes. So peak mode or RMS. Let's switch them all to peak, see what happens. All right, let's move on. All right, so let's start with the OG OTT. So right off the bat, OTT stands for over the top. So it's an over the top compression, doing both upwards and downwards compression at the same time. And then you have multi-band controls. So usually it's about throwing OTT on and just have it being at some very extreme settings, and it brings out a lot of details because of the over-the-top settings. But you can still tweak threshold. So this right here is the threshold for the band. These are the bands: low band, mid band, high band. This is the threshold setting. And you have volume control over the overall volume of the band being compressed. You can then adjust the level to get a bit of frequency mixing. So kind of like EQ, like a 3-band EQ, but with dynamic control because of your settings over here as far as compression for each band. So you can set your compressions differently for each band because it's a multi-band compressor. Then down here you have upward and downward compression settings. So you can dial these all the way down and there's no compression happening. Then you dial in as you feel fit as far as trying to control the dynamics and reshape the sound. And then you still have a depth knob over here. Input gain, output gain. If you want to gain match or if you want to do some makeup gain. So this one doesn't come with any presets. It's all about the default setting. And of course you can mix it into test. You can mix it into taste. You don't have to deal with it at full strength. All right, so let's move on. So let's do Dynastia, which is an OTT clone, OTT inspired. So if you go to the presets, there is a preset called OTT. So you hear the difference right away. So the difference with this one is you have in, then you have out per band, output level control. Then over here we have saturation for the band, and then width control. You can turn the whole band off, and then you can do, they have mid and side, left and right stereo. And then this would be your upward compression threshold, and this would be the downward compression threshold. So, and then there's an overall compression knob here, attack release over here. And I'm figuring the attack and release is for everything. So the attack and the release will be the same. So this brings a whole new twist because it has mid-side per band independently. And we have also saturation per band independently. And the stereo width also. So a little bit different flair. The interface is resizable. This one is PC only, no Mac, as far as I saw. And then they come with presets. All right, last up is Cram It. Once again, this is OTT inspired. Let's turn it on. Right away you hear the difference. This one has oversampling, 1x, 2x, 8x. And you move this down for your, I think this is for the upward compression. I think this is for the downward compression. Don't quote me on that. Consult your manual for the plugin. But over here, this one has some extra wave shaping, distortion, and overdrive modes. So you can dial in distortion. The type of distortion. So you can mess with the curve. You got volume control with the drive. So you can really get it dirty. And then there's a modulation section here. And then you have your in and your output. You can really mangle the sound with this. I usually like using it for the distortion. What I'm trying to do, send buses, like very stylized send buses. And then there's an overall mix. And over here we have solo, bypass a band. And I think this has to do with the settings for upward and downward compression. Then one of the tricks with this one is if you hold shift, you get to adjust the volume for each band. just kind of one of those hidden things where if you're not reading the details in the manual or watching somebody properly demonstrate it online, you won't know that that's there. But these comes with a decent amount of presets also, just to get you up and running quickly. So that's pretty much it, guys. Check out those plugins. The link is in the description. Check back tomorrow where I'll have that beat way more fleshed out and more of an idea on it, some vocals, Vox or something, and get more of a vibe going. So definitely check the link in the description for my series on PC specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your computer's internal parts works along with your DAW to help you produce music smoothly without any distractions, no clicks, no pops, no crashing, no audio cutouts, no freezing, just a smooth experience that's going to keep you in that creative zone and that flow state, definitely check out that series. It'll help you understand if you're having issues, why you're having that issue, and what you can do to make sure that your computer is powerful enough to power that DAW efficiently for smooth performance. Also, there's a link in the description for a video playlist, a growing playlist for these videos that I do weekly. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, definitely check out that playlist. There's over 300 and probably 84, 85 videos there. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, 100% free, definitely check out that playlist. Also, there is another playlist linked in the description for my new video series that I started this year titled 52 Weeks of Reaper, where every week I release a new video focusing on a key feature in Reaper, highlighting what makes Reaper such an amazing DAW, an amazing part of my toolset as a music producer slash songwriter. So definitely check out that series. We're up to, I think week 13 is this week, so there should be 12 videos up there right now. But it is a 52-week journey that will span the entire year. So definitely check those links in the description, guys. Check back tomorrow as we continue and wrap up the month of free VST plugins themed with free VST compressors. Tomorrow should be the last live stream for the month for free VST plugins. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you will see me in the next video.